Matt, what's happening? So I was talking about burbot, right?
Yeah.
What's the first word you ever heard to describe one?
The first word I heard to describe them was ling.
You knew him as ling.
Yeah.
Steve Ranella.
Doug, what's happening? You remember how I was telling you about how I'm going burbot fishing?
Yeah.
What other names do you know of burbot by?
My whole life I've known the burbot as a lawyer
Do you know why people call it a lawyer?
because they have a very tiny heart and it's very close to their rear end.
Yes, it's the fish with 1,000 names, or at least upwards of a half dozen. Burbot, lawyer, eelpout, cusk, and ling. It's our only freshwater cod species, a cold water creature generally found in the northern tier states, plus all that vast coldness of Canada and Alaska. Folks catch them in the summer, sure, but serious burbot anglers know that the species is best caught when fishing through hard water. Here, we're after them in central Alaska, 20 miles on a snow machine, and here you are, fishing through ice that's about as thick as the distance that separates the bottom of your boots from the bottom of your crotch. This setup we're using is called a tip-up. This bait here is a hooligan or a candlefish. The bait part of this is important because you need to have live bait. Because with a tip-up, no one's doing anything. You're not here like jigging it and moving the bait around. If you're out fishing and you're jigging or moving the bait around, you can have a plastic bait, a wooden bait, whatever, rubber bait, and you're giving it movement that mimics something that's alive. And even if it doesn't taste like a fish, doesn't smell like a fish, a burbot will still come up and hit it because he sees that movement and keys in on it and smacks it thinking it's a fish. This thing's just sitting there, laying on the bottom. So it has the smell and look real. And so that's what that is. So you send him down, lay him on the bottom, and then this little bobber here just marks the depth. So we know at that point the fish is laying on the bottom and there's no line pooled up next to him. And then you go like this and hook this thing here. This has got a spring on it. And that spindle is hooked to the spool. So when a fish grabs this, he's gonna run and take off. And as he runs and takes off, he pulls line. That turns the spindle. Up pops the flag. Then the flag comes up. Some number of minutes goes by. One of the fishermen notices the flag is up. And invariably, that individual yells, "Flag!" That's just how it works. Doesn't matter what state you're in. You can catch eelpout around the clock, but the fish hit real well in the waning light and darkness. We pitch a shanty so we've got a place to warm up through the night, and we rig a couple of handheld jigging rods to keep us occupied while we're in there. But the real action is on the tip-ups. So every 10 minutes or so, you unzip the door and take a stroll out to check for flags. When you find a flag, you can hardly keep from smiling, even if you were to try.
Out.
Here he is. Eelpout.
Nice one.
Eelpout. There.
Oh!
Nice. It's like a bullfrog made love to a snake. That's a good looking fish, man.
Aren't they sweet?
Some folks call them ugly, and I've done it too, but what you're getting at when you say such a thing is that they're unexpectedly, weirdly, kind of beautiful in a weird way. And my God, are they good to eat. Earlier, when I rattled off the various names for this fish, I failed to mention my favorite, which is perhaps the most descriptive. Poor man's lobster.
That's a decent fish.
Come to pop
Big
him
burbot.
on. Come to pop him.
Holy mackerel.
Can you get him through the hole? There he is. That's what I'm talking about. That's a eelpout there, man.
That thing was running, man. Holy cow, that was fun.